up the bag, son. Don't up the bag. Don't up the bag. Yeah, don't the bag.
You would show up on the damn cutting weight, huh?
Cool. What are you talking about?
Before fists even flew inside the ring, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn's bitter rivalry erupted in the most explosive way, off the stage and in the heart of the Fighter Hotel in Saudi Arabia. It was Thursday, just days before Eubank's scheduled bout, and tensions that had been simmering for years finally boiled over in a heated face-to-face.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, you like what? Like what? You're lucky you're fighting tomorrow. Fuck you up right now. Yeah.
You see, this guy comes in when I'm cutting weight.
He comes in when he comes. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow after the fight. I'll see you tomorrow after the fight.
Footage captured the moment. Ben stormed up to Eubank Jr., launching into a foul-mouthed tirade that had to be held back by security. "You're lucky you're fighting tomorrow," Ben spat, his eyes locked onto Eubank Jr. The room crackled with tension as he shoved Eubank hard in the chest. This wasn't just a push, it was a message, a declaration that their feud was far from over. Tensions escalated during the altercation on Thursday, where Chris Eubank Jr. challenged Conor Benn to step into the ring, emphasizing his readiness for their impending clash. Eubank's bold declaration set the stage for an electrifying showdown, but Ben was quick to respond, showcasing his confidence and defiance.
Get in that ring.
Yeah, what? Get in that ring. I'll get in that ring and give it to you.
Ben shot back, leaving no doubt about his intentions. This fiery exchange not only highlighted their fierce rivalry, but also left fans eager for the explosive encounter ahead. Eubank, never one to back down, grinned as security tried to intervene. He calmly told the crowd, "Let him come close. I like this energy." But Ben wasn't done. "I'll give you a good ass beating in front of 60,000. That's what's gonna happen," he yelled, his voice filled with fury. As tensions boiled over during their Thursday confrontation, Conor Benn made a bold move by pushing Chris Eubank Jr. away with a shove to the chest. This act of defiance only intensified the atmosphere, with Ben declaring himself the formidable opponent Eubank would soon face. Eubank, not backing down, retaliated with a taunt, calling Ben out and dismissing his bravado.
No, it's okay, let him come close, man. I like this. I like this energy. I like this energy.
Yeah, what? You like a girl?
Yeah, you're a kid. You're a
Oh,
kid.
you're a kid, yeah, kid that's gonna fuck you up. Yeah, kid that's gonna fuck you up. Yeah.
Watch what happens.
Yeah, watch what happens. Dead boy walking, yeah?
You're a pussy.
Dead boy walking, yeah? Yeah, you're lucky.
The verbal sparring and physicality added an extra layer of drama to their rivalry, underscoring the stakes of their upcoming fight. With both fighters clearly fired up, the anticipation among fans grew, eager to see how this animosity will play out in the ring. Ben also stated, "I'll see you straight after the fight tomorrow night and get in the ring and give it to you. You are lucky." Ben's fiery declaration only heightened the anticipation for their showdown, showcasing his determination to prove himself against Eubank. The stakes were crystal clear. Both fighters were ready to settle their score in the ring, and Ben's words served as a warning that he wouldn't back down. As fight night approached, fans could feel the electric atmosphere surrounding this rivalry, eagerly awaiting the clash of these two fierce competitors who were both prepared to leave everything on the canvas.
Finish tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night then. I'll see you tomorrow night then. Arrogant prick.
Come on, let's go. He's got his little 5 minutes of fame.
The two men were finally separated, but the damage was done. The world knew that this beef wasn't just for the cameras, it was personal. The stage was now set for Saturday night, and with tensions running so high, fans were left wondering, what would happen next? Was this just a taste of what was coming? Eddie Hearn had a clear vision of the drama that would unfold post-fight. He was fully aware that Conor Benn planned to jump into the ring to confront Chris Eubank Jr. after his match. The moment was set up as a calculated move to stoke the fire for their ongoing rivalry, adding tension and hype for their eventual clash.
It's the bit. Listen, you're talking about a mega fight. This fight's one of the biggest fights in boxing. Forget British boxing. And tomorrow night, don't be surprised to see him jump in the ring and set about Chris Eubank Jr.
Eddie Hearn further elaborated on the intensity of the rivalry, emphasizing just how personal the fight had become for Conor Benn. He explained that Ben wasn't just looking for a victory. He wanted to take Eubank Jr.'s head off his shoulders.
What has he told you about that fight behind the scenes?
He wants to take his head off his shoulders.
Yeah.
This comment highlighted the depth of animosity between the two fighters, fueled by their family history and Ben's own desire to prove himself after the drug scandal. Eddie stated, "At the end of the day, you want to see those two in a real fight. Let's make it happen." His words reflected the growing anticipation among fans and the boxing community, eager for a showdown that promised to deliver not just athletic prowess but also the intensity of their deep-seated rivalry. Eddie Hearn delved into the complexities of arranging the highly anticipated bout between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., explaining the challenges brought about by the weight difference and the sheer animosity between the two fighters. He acknowledged that the negotiations were far from straightforward, as both camps had their own agendas and strategies for success. Eddie shared the circumstances under which the fight could take place, stating, "Listen, because of how much they hate each other, it's always difficult. We've got plans to win championships at 147. Don't forget, Conor's got to go up 2 divisions to fight this guy. But if it was at 147, it would be a mismatch because Conor is, on every level, so much better than Chris Eubank Jr., but at 160, it's a very tough fight." Hearn emphasized how the weight class plays a pivotal role, with Conor facing the uphill task of jumping 2 divisions, making the fight more evenly balanced at middleweight despite Benn's superior skill set. The weight difference, along with the rivalry, adds an extra layer of intrigue to the already heated contest. Fast forward to Saturday. After Chris Eubank Jr.'s victory over Kamil Szeremeta on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol, the air was thick with anticipation. As the crowd roared, Conor Benn wasted no time stepping into the ring. The two stood face to face once again, but this time under the glaring lights of the world stage. Eubank Jr., brimming with confidence from his victory, was the first to speak. He said, "Look who we got here, baby. This is the fight everyone wants to see, huh? I like that." The crowd buzzed. He wasn't done. He also added, "I'm not cutting weight now. Now I'm 168, 170. Ain't no pushing me around now, son. I want you next." The challenge was thrown down, bold, direct, and undeniable, but Benn wasn't fazed. Smirking, he shot back with sarcasm, "Ooh, after that performance, you think I'm worried?" His mockery was laced with venom, trying to cut through Eubank's bravado, but Eubank, unfazed, kept his cool. "Got cut by a headbutt, but you know it's nothing. We're having fun out here, and yeah, we're coming for you, baby." It was a verbal chess match, each man trying to one-up the other. Benn, not backing down, made it clear that weight wouldn't be a problem. "I'll jump up 2 weight divisions. I ain't concerned. You think you could beat me off the back of my worst day?" Eubank's reply was simple, direct, and cold. "We'll see." Then, channeling the spirit of fighters before him, he upped the ante, signed the contract. Benn, still full of fire, looked around the arena and smirked. "Turki Alal Sheikh, His Excellency is here. Let's get the fight done." Eubank, smelling victory, or maybe just the adrenaline in the air, couldn't resist one last taunt. "It is the stink of fear." But Benn wasn't having it. No one's scared of that. What are you gonna do about it? The conversation ended not with words, but a simple promise from Eubank Jr. "Once you sign the contract, we'll see." The question now is simple. When the dust settles and both men step into the ring, who will back up their words with action? After their explosive hotel altercation, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn's rivalry has reached a fever pitch. But this showdown isn't just about 2 modern-day fighters. It's a continuation of a decades-long feud between 2 of British boxing's most iconic families. This fight carries the weight of history, personal vendettas, and unresolved controversies. Before their long-awaited bout, Chris Eubank Jr. spoke candidly about his growing animosity toward Conor Benn. Reflecting on their recent hotel altercation, Eubank Jr. didn't mince his words about the frustration he felt during the tense standoff. As he was cutting weight, Benn confronted him, escalating the situation. Eubank Jr. said, "I don't like an idiot getting in front of me while I'm trying to cut weight and pushing me. Of course, I don't like that. I don't like somebody getting into the ring and putting his head in my face." Eubank Jr. emphasized that the tension between them isn't just a product of their father's legendary rivalry. The dislike is very real and personal between them. He also noted in an interview, "But I understand that this guy wants to take me out. There is a real beef between us. It is real. It's not just because our fathers fought. We do not like each other. I don't think this guy should be in the sport. I want to take him out of the sport. It's personal between us, and I can't wait for that fight." With these words, Eubank Jr. Jr. made it clear that the upcoming fight isn't just about settling a score in the ring, it's about making a statement. He's determined to remove Benn from the sport altogether, reinforcing the notion that this clash is deeply personal. To understand the intensity behind their conflict, you have to rewind nearly 3 decades. Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn were fierce rivals in the 1990s, giving the boxing world 2 unforgettable battles. Their first fight in 1990 ended in a 9th round TKO, with Eubank Sr. snatching the WBO middleweight title from Benn in one of the most dramatic fights in British boxing history. Their rematch in 1993, a brutal and grueling contest, ended in a draw, leaving fans divided on who was truly superior. And their rivalry was more than just sport, it was about clashing personalities and fighting styles. Eubank Sr. was the flamboyant, self-assured showman, while Nigel Benn was the hard-hitting, relentless dark destroyer. While on the other hand, when Conor Benn was asked whether the fight with Chris Eubank Jr. was personal, his response was sharp and direct, leaving no doubt about his feelings.
Is it as personal as it always has been, or more personal?
You tell me. It's either that or I'm an amazing actor.
No, but to you?
Well, of course it is. I don't think I've ever felt the way I felt about Chris.
Benn's words revealed the depth of his disdain for Eubank Jr., making it clear that this fight was more than just a professional contest. It was fueled by genuine animosity. Fast forward to the present day, and the sons of these legends are now set to rekindle that historic rivalry. Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn have been on a collision course for years, and their war of words has only escalated. Both fighters are eager to step out from under their father's shadows and establish their own legacies in the ring. However, this fight almost didn't happen. The two were scheduled to clash in October 2022, but it was called off after a bombshell revelation. Conor Benn had tested positive for banned substances, throwing his career into turmoil. Benn has maintained his innocence throughout, stating that he didn't knowingly ingest any illegal substances. Despite this, his UK license was suspended, and he's been fighting to clear his name ever since. The fallout from the failed drug tests has cast a dark cloud over his career, and Benn has spent the last year battling the stigma, vowing to prove that he's not a cheat. "I've been proving my innocence," Benn declared in a September interview, urging people to see past the media narrative. "Forget the narrative that's being pushed. I was cleared a year and a half ago by the people who had done the test." Benn has consistently defended himself, pointing out that he passed all his UCAT tests during the period in question. "I had passed all my UCAT tests during that same period, so their authority I had passed." The battle to clear his name has been nothing short of exhausting. Benn feels that critics have unjustly cast doubt on his career, but he insists that he has taken every legal and procedural route to prove his innocence. He further added, "This is something I'm willing to fight for and have fought for, and I'm glad it's coming to an end. I haven't bent, I haven't swayed on the truth, and that's all that matters to me. My integrity." The controversy has deeply affected Benn both personally and professionally, but he remains defiant. Refusing to accept the ban, Benn said, "I couldn't accept the ban. If I ain't done something, I won't raise my hand to it. Never this. I stay true in what I believe in." He further expressed frustration at how his refusal to back down has come at a great cost, including missed opportunities and financial strain, yet he refuses to take the easy way out. "But I continue to fight and spend hundreds of thousands missing out on big opportunities." This fight with Eubank Jr. is not only a clash of legacies and personal grudges, but also a symbol of Benn's determination to restore his name and reputation, making it even more personal. Benn's struggles with the doping controversy have added a layer of tension to this fight. Eubank Jr. has been relentless in taunting Benn, questioning his integrity and the legitimacy of his achievements. In a now infamous tweet following the drug test scandal, Eubank Jr. mocked Benn for growing some balls while he was starving and dehydrated during fight week preparations. This dig not only highlighted Eubank's disdain for Benn, but also reignited the bad blood between the two, making the upcoming bout personal. While Benn has been on a mission to clear his name, Eubank Jr. has been busy rebuilding his career. After suffering a shocking defeat to Liam Smith earlier this year, Eubank avenged the loss with a dominant stoppage victory in their rematch. He also secured a win against Poland's Kamil Szeremeta, reaffirming his status as a dangerous contender in the super middleweight division. Eubank Jr. has consistently maintained that he is ready for Benn, even suggesting that the fight is an opportunity for him to settle the score for his father's long-standing rivalry with Nigel Benn. For Benn, this fight represents more than just redemption from his doping scandal. It's his chance to solidify his place in boxing history and prove that he belongs at the elite level. Undefeated in 23 professional bouts, Benn is confident that he can overcome the size and experience of Eubank Jr., even though he will be moving up 2 weight classes for the fight.
Can almost have it where they're in your head too much. Have you found that?
Listen, I'm a fighter. I fight on emotion. This ain't business for me. It's always personal. It's always personal when I get in there.
Does that get an extra gear out of you?
Yeah, of course. I got a chip on my shoulder. That's the way I fight. Love it or hate it. It's the way I am. And I ain't going to fend or fold or break for anybody. I am what I am. And that's what makes me the fighter I am. Whatever gets me going, gets me going.
What words were exchanged up there between the two of you?
There was a little
bit more after the microphone
I'm ready to
was
go
there,
now,
though.
and he's saying, I smell fear and smell fear. It's just weird, geezer. It's weird.
I suppose
Conor Benn called it weird that Eubank said that he smelled fear. This clash of legacies, reputations, and egos is set to captivate the boxing world. With the backdrop of their father's rivalry and Benn's quest for redemption, this fight promises to be more than just a grudge match. It's the continuation of a saga that began decades ago, with both men looking to write their own chapter in the history of British boxing. And come fight night, it won't just be about punches thrown. It will be about settling scores, proving a point, and carrying on the family name. For Eubank Jr., this fight is more than just another bout. It's a chance to close a chapter that began decades ago and to step out of the shadow of his father's legacy. When asked what Conor Benn represents to him, Eubank Jr. said, "He represents a mega fight. He represents a legacy fight. He represents something that I can make my old man proud for beating." You know, this goes back 30 years. This is huge. It's never been done before. That's what he represents. For Eubank Jr., the stakes couldn't be higher. This fight isn't just personal, it's symbolic. Winning this bout means more than adding another victory to his record. It's about proving that the Eubank name still stands tall and victorious against the Benns, that the fierce rivalry that started with their fathers will have the final word spoken by the Eubanks. As the negotiations for their highly anticipated fight unfolded, weight became a central issue, especially after Conor Benn's controversial failed drug test. The fight was initially scheduled at a catchweight, but following the scandal, Chris Eubank Jr. made it clear that there would be no more concessions on his part.
Or are you still willing to negotiate on the weight this time?
Absolutely not. After getting caught cheating, he has no privileges, he has no leeway. The fight is at middleweight, I'm a middleweight. It's happening at 160.
Eubank Jr.'s refusal to budge on weight is a clear statement of his dominance in the negotiation. He's holding all the cards now, especially after the doping controversy surrounding Benn. This stance highlights just how personal and unforgiving this fight has become.
I mean, how soon can we get this fight made, Conor?
The fight's made.
The fight's done?
Fight's made.
Signed?
Not signed, but the fight's made. It's done.
Okay. February?
God willing.
All eyes are on Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. The clash of legacies is imminent, and the air is thick with anticipation. Both fighters have laid bare their hearts and histories, and now it's time to settle the score once and for all. Will Eubank Jr. secure a legacy-defining victory, or will Benn rise from the shadows of controversy to claim his place among the greats? In this monumental showdown, it's not just a fight, it's a battle for pride, reputation, and the very essence of what it means to be a champion. As the bell rings and the action begins, one thing is certain: this is more than just a match. It's a saga that will echo through the annals of boxing history. Who will emerge victorious? The answer lies just moments away as the world watches and waits.